There we go. Hi guys, welcome to Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. Central European time on the dollar. We do the show every day, Monday to Friday, because we gotta know what's happening with Bitcoin, the dump, the SVB, the bank, the USDC, the stock market, what's gonna happen tomorrow. Very interesting day. Now, it's neither Monday to Friday, nor it is 9 a.m. But it is a little bit important to look at a little bit the chart right now before the Monday, because I think Monday might be very eventful. Now, I might be wrong on this one, but there will, the banks are opening on Monday, stuff is starting, business is going on as usual, and it will start before Monday actually hits. It will start when CME futures open. It will start when the futures on the S&P 500, Nasdaq, and Dow Jones open, and that's gonna open in something like, I think it's something like 10 hours right from now. No, 8 hours. No, 8 hours, 9, 10, yeah, around 10, 9, 10, yeah, 10 hours, give or take 10 hours, I don't know. So the futures market opens in 10 hours. The stock market, regular stock market opens tomorrow on Monday. But once the futures market open, people are already gonna start, assuming what's gonna happen next. They're gonna start, placing the bets towards upside, downside, what's gonna happen with the bank, and so forth, so forth. So I'm gonna tell you, what I think about all of this right now, and what I might or might not do next. Dimut, first, how you doing, man? Mladen Petrov, what's up? Dr. Karlov, good afternoon, good afternoon. Let's go. Short on USDC from 0.95. Jay, how you doing, man? Weak, holding strong. Mladen thinks we're going to 21k today, and that could be the case. There is definitely a good case for that, but I'm a little bit, on the scary side. Good morning, folks. Garrett, how you doing, man? The center plan, what's up? Johnny G, morning. Did you sleep in that chair? I wish I did, man. I wish I did. It's a nice chair. It's a good chair. I like the chair. This is day 2 or 3 of the chair, and I'm really happy with the chair. So far, so good. That's the man right there. Sam, how you doing, man? Johnny, I placed some orders on index funds as I expect it will be good day to buy. 13 hours, thanks, man. So 13 hours left until the futures market open. I think it's less than 13 hours, but who's counting? So let's talk about what's happening. First thing first, we can actually go to look at USD, USDC, USD. We can look at the USDC, and as you saw yesterday, it actually managed to recover the peg up here. It actually went all the way up to something like above 1 over here. Actually 1 on the dollar. It went to 1 on the dollar, so it actually recovered the peg. Jurgen, yeah, welcome back. How you doing, man? Smells like fear, ready to eat. Exactly. We're gonna talk about whether it's time to buy or not, but the USDC did recover the peg. Right now it's still below the peg over here at $1, but this is pretty normal the way I should see it, because people are trying to get out of the USDC. There is a lot of fear in the market. There is a lot of FUD on the USDC. We don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, day after. It might survive, but the way I see it, if you guys holding USDC and you can afford the fees, it's not down by 10% or 20% right now, right? So it doesn't make any kind of sense holding USDC right now. I believe it's gonna survive. Don't put your money on the belief. You are not invested in the USDC company. You don't have any kind of stake in that company. Just don't care about USDC, right? So it's the way I see it, there is no reason to hold USDC right now. There is too much uncertainty to be holding a uncertain coin right now, and right now it's almost at the peg. So there's that. If it survives, it survives, but it really doesn't matter whether you hold USDC or Tether or BUSD or DAI or anything like that, right? All of the things are $1, right? And there's that. Maybe the best thing to hold is actually USD and not USDT or BUSD or USD with any kind of X, letter at the end of or before that. So there might be that. Double set. I hold USDC in money that's locked in Celsius bankruptcy. Double set times. Ouch. Good morning, Thomas. How you doing? So yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about right now about the USDC. It's it's a very risky asset right now because we don't know what's gonna happen. Like if you have some kind of inside information or know more than other people, that might be a thing. But the way I see it, like it really doesn't matter what kind of USD stable coin you are holding. Like they're all the same. Just take one that there is no FUD around, right? So there is that. Tomorrow all stablecoins might drop, but USD will still be around at least for a little while. So there is that. So that's about that. Silicon Valley Bank tomorrow. There will be news. There will be action happening tomorrow, either one way or other way. Maybe it's gonna be bailed out. Maybe something's gonna happen. I haven't been reading a lot of news about the Silicon Valley Bank because I really don't understand that too much. There was a video channel that I was showing to you guys yesterday called Felix and Winston, or Felix and Friends. And there is this economist guy, lawyer guy, guy pretty, up there when it comes to, what's happening with stuff like that. And he mentioned, I don't want to create any kind of fun, but he mentioned that the Bank of America has a big stake in the Silicon Valley Bank. So will Silicon Valley Bank have a ripple effect throughout the market and pull other stuff down? That depends to be seen, but it's quite scary. I gotta tell you guys, it's quite scary. And when it comes to me right now, I gotta decide whether hodling through this over here is worth it or not. Because as you will see on the charts, we are actually on very nice support levels, really nice support levels, with some small time frame overextensions, with some oversold levels on bigger time frames. And whether this is actually gonna play through and be the bottom and bounce, I don't know. But the way I see it, how can bounce happen when there is so much bad news, right? I don't see the bullishness right in the charts, and even the move right now towards the upside, I don't see the bullishness, right? Over here, this move towards the upside up here is just this over here is just consolidation. And it even slowly going towards the upside. This looks like some kind of rising wedge up here that might break down. It might have a just small move down, over here and then continue towards the upside. But a bullish move would come if you can actually manage to break the line up here towards the upside up here. That will be above 20.6k, meaning 21k, like Nana says, will come. But it is really during these times right now. I don't know how you're gonna draw this line, but this line up here needs to be broken towards the upside, and if that happens, it just might be what we need actually to recover, back to 25k or whatnot, right? But betting on this right now, I don't know if I want to do that, because it is quite, when you look at the price of, when you look at a Bitcoin chart up here, it does look a little bit weak. I mean, over here we, had a nice move towards upside, because over here we're, overextend towards downside. The RSI went down all the way down to 10. Right, so we pulled back to the 10 moving average, got rejected by that, trying to climb up here, getting a little bit rejection by the 20 moving average. But this is right now also the weekend, so we cannot actually say too much whether this price action up here is legit or not. But tonight, when the futures market open, when the CME futures open, we will know more about the real price movements that are gonna happen. What you're gonna see here on the CME future chart is that we have a close around 20k, and right now the price is a little bit above that. So 20k over here on our charts right now is price right now is at 20.3, but CME future chart is around 20 point something, right? 20 point down here. So going down here towards this level on the open will create no gap on the CME charts, even though I don't care about gaps, but but any kind of if you open up here, there will be a slight gap. It might go a little bit down or up. I mean the gap is not gonna be big. Doesn't matter how you look at it, the gap is not gonna be big either towards upside or downside, unless we dump big time down here before the CME futures open, or I have a big pump up here before the CME futures open. There will the gap that's gonna be here is gonna be such a small gap that's not even worth talking about gap. So the CME futures will open give or take around the price target where they closed on the Friday. So we're just consolidating over here right now. You can see up here also that 10-20 we are still below 10-20 moving average. That's been rejecting us towards downside over here. We start hitting that, got big move down. 10-20 is still up here. Right now we are waiting for that 20. We still need to get above 10-20 and the 50 moving average. The 50 moving average being very important level. Right now that's around, you know, 22.2k. So, you know, we need a big pump up here towards upside for that to happen. But we are not quite there just yet. We are not quite there just yet. So whatever ever happening is right now during the weekend is mostly consolidation phase down here, because we had oversold levels on the small time frames like 1 hourly and 4 hourly time frame. You can see here 1 hourly came down to 8 on the RSI over here right now. 8 or RSI, yeah, over here right now on the 4 hourly we came down to 9. On the daily, we are at some kind of oversold levels at 31, but this thing can actually push a lot lower towards the downside. Let me just remove this thing over here. These RSI levels, although we are down at, you know, 31 up here, this on CME future chart. Let's go to another chart up here. We are right now at 32 up here. We came down to some kind of, you know, 27 levels, so we can definitely still push more towards downside. We are oversold, but we are not that oversold on the daily time frame. And the weekly time frame right now, we are not oversold at all. We are right now sitting at 47 levels over here, so you cannot say that, you know, we are down here at, you know, some kind of 20-30 levels that, you know, the bottom is in, right? So we cannot call the bottom in, right? Just you know, not right now. Over here we came to some kind of 30 levels. This is still going towards upside up here. Are we gonna go all the way down to 36 level, lower than that, you know? So we cannot use some kind of overextensions or some kind of indicators down here. I've been also looking at the MACD. MACD doesn't look, you know, oversold on either a monthly. This is actually curving towards the upside, but can actually push a little bit more down. Weekly trying to break the zero line, but still below the zero line. The daily we just went through the zero line towards downside. And the 4 hourly and less, you know, we are still below zero line for a long time, and we are still, you know, pushing it towards the downside over here. So indicators are not very helpful, but an important thing to note is that, you know, there is no such thing right now as oversold levels. In a strong trends, doesn't matter whether that's a bearish trend or a bullish trend, in a strong trends, oversold levels can continue for a very long while. And just when you think, you know, we are, you know, oversold, you know, extended towards downside, it just continues dipping towards downside because that price does that. Eventually it can actually pick up. Let me show you something up here. This is the big dump over here. So let's turn off the MACD up here for a second, this overextend level. So what you're gonna see here is that these big dumps over here, this went down to something like 20 levels down here. 20 levels, and then we pull back, right? But these that went down, this is 24 level on the daily time frame. You can see here we consolidated up here, try to go 2 times. So, you know, this consolidation might take a while before it actually goes down. And you can see what consolidation did. Consolidation did pick, you know, the RSI all the way up to 50 levels. So even though the price went sideways up here, the RSI went back to the 50 line, and then it had another crash towards downside, which is quite normal. Now, will we have, you know, I don't know how many days this is over, this consolidation up here over here is. This is almost 1 month consolidation. I don't think this consolidation up here is gonna last a month. I don't think there will be any kind of, you know, 1 month consolidation phase up here while the RSI picks up to some kind of 50 levels over here and then does another drop down. I don't think that's gonna be the case. So if we do start dumping right over here right now, we will get oversold levels on the daily RSI, which might actually indicate bottom, right? But the bottom is not what you guys think. The bottom is not, you know, instant, you know, move towards downside. The bottom indicates stop of the move, consolidation somewhere down here, right, or over here. It doesn't really matter. This is not very precise, and then move towards upside or downside after a while, right? But it could indicate consolidation phase if we dump another move towards downside. We can also consolidate over here, but it's not very, you know, it's not, what you gonna say? It's not very, probability is not very high. Probability is not very high. I mean, it could do that, but probability is not very high. So could it dump over here right now towards downside? Definitely can. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And, you know, the move up here to the 50 moving average is also legit. I mean, we still haven't broken certain levels of trend over here just yet. We have a trend over here, give or take, something like this over here. You can see that's around the 50 moving average. The trend is still not broken, and if you just look at the trend over here, we can actually assume that this trend up here, you know, might actually get rejected and continue going towards downside. But the problem is, if we are gonna go all the way up to the 50, that means that there is some kind of trend over here that we are still holding. So maybe there is a channel over here. Let me see the channel. Where is the channel? Give or take. Yeah, give or take. I think I drew something like this before, and you know, we're gonna continue that. So over here it looks like we fell out of the channel right now, back inside that, but there is also this this trend line, this falling wedge that we've been talking about, right? Falling wedge that we went through. It's also even this falling wedge up here, even this trend line over here is right now around the 50 moving average. So however you look at it, could we go all the way up to the 50 moving average before the dump over here, or maybe even try to break that towards upside? I mean, definitely can. There is huge amount of certainty. Will it dump, will it pump? And just by looking at this price movement down here, it's really hard to say, because this over here is right now creating some kind of rising wedge. The way I see this is some kind of rising wedge up here, give or take. It might be a channel as well, something like this, but doesn't matter whether it's a channel, or a rising wedge over here. It is rising after a big dump towards downside. There is a lot of fear in the market, so this might, has a good chance, to dump towards the downside. The dump towards the downside. Will it dump? Will it not dump? That depends to be the case. So I'm looking, if this is bullish, I'm looking to break this trend towards the upside over here, and then then we have to wait for the 50 moving average up here. There's the 50 moving average. It's gonna go a little bit lower up here. You see on 1 hour it's the 200 moving average up here, but can it go all the way up here to some kind of 21.4, something like that? Definitely can. Lana says 21k, that's all the way up here. That can also definitely happen, but I think we eventually, we need to break the trend over here, right? We need to break the trend over here. That's the first move up here, and then the second move up here. These two moves will indicate bullishness in the price. But that means by the time we indicate bullishness, we are around 21.5 or something like that. Use Lindrake. Now Lindrake shows also the same. I'm pretty much sure Lindrake. Now this one we can only use, how many candles are we gonna use? 60 candles. This is using 100 candles, but if you use just like something like 50 candles or something like that, we get the channel up here, give or take. Give or take. So it is channel over here. It's a channel or rising wedge, however you want to look at it. And the move down here, it definitely is probable. The problem right now is the Silicon Valley Bank, is the Celsius, it's all the FUD. And the Silicon Valley Bank is no longer FUD, guys. It actually happened, it actually went bankrupt. A lot of companies are reliant on the money from Silicon Valley Bank. It was one of the biggest crypto banks from what I can say. And there is no doubt in my mind that this will have a ripple effect across the, other, companies. Now, how much will that affect other companies? What's gonna happen next? It is a little bit hard to say. It is a little bit, facts. It is a little bit hard to say. So, there is an indicator that's very precise, and that's called, TLA, emotional indicator. So when I'm in fear, we are close to bottom. But when I'm in, euphoria, we are close to top. And I gotta tell you right now, guys, I am in fear. I'm literally in fear because of the dump. It's really hard to hodl. It's really hard to hodl, and I don't know what to do. So I haven't decided whether I want to sell. I haven't decided whether I want to buy. I haven't decided, whether I want to sell or hodl. I haven't decided what to do yet. So I don't know what I'm waiting for, but I need, some kind of clarity on what I'm gonna do next. So I try to, being a little bit, reasonable, with my thought process, and I'm thinking, okay, let's assume I sell everything right now, and tomorrow it goes up. It goes up to, maybe tomorrow goes up to, 22.8k. I have lost 12% move up, and that is very true. I could lose 12% move up to something like 22.8. Let's say it breaks the 22.8 and goes all the way up to 25k. I lose 24% move up. it could happen. It could happen. And at one point, of course, he goes through that, you know, I will lose the entire move towards the upside. But, you know, if it starts going up here, I probably won't let it go all the way up to, you know, 22.8 or 25 without actually getting back in. But, you know, I will definitely be looking at, you know, action down here, whether I should go in or not, right? So there will be low. If I do sell right now, there will be a loss the way I see it. There will be a loss if the price goes up. On the other hand, I might be doing, you know, good move if it goes down. But like we just saw, the daily is at some kind of 30 levels. There might be a big spring towards upside. I might lose that as well, right? But, you know, then we are also back here. So this is what I'm losing, right? And in the worst case scenario, we don't go down to, you know, 18K. We don't do a spring. We don't go down to 16K. We might even go lower or 16K, I don't know. And then do this move down here, which will be very good because I get to buy cheaper, right? I get to buy cheaper. I'm not selling the bottom and FOMO in higher. Yeah, so there is that, But guys, do know that I'm in fear. I won't be telling you whether I sold or bought or what am I doing, but I am in definitely fear. And if you remember back here, I was in fear over here as well. Down here at, no, not 19K, down here I was at fear, a big fear down here, or here, I don't know. Right over here I was in fear, and then we did this move towards upside, I think, and then I was a little bit fear down here as well, and then we did this move towards upside. So every time I'm in fear, guys, we do this move towards upside. So, you know, there is that, you know, call me the, you know, TLA indicator, emotional, unstable, you know, guy behind the, you know, screen. And when this guy is in fear, it's probably some, you know that a lot of more people are in fear. When I am fearful, a lot of people are fearful. When I'm euphoria, a lot of people are in euphoria. I'm really good indicator by myself to look at, you know, psychology of the market. So if I am fearful, you know, a lot of people are fearful. If I'm euphoric, a lot of people are euphoric. I don't know why is that, but, you know, that's how it goes. T-line Jim Cramer indicator is the same. So there is that. But I gotta tell you guys, I'm, you know, a little bit 50-50 on what I'm gonna do, because if it does have ripple effect, the you know, Silicon Valley Bank, if the USDC doesn't, you know, hold the peg, you know, everything is if this, if that, if world goes under, yeah, what if? Like there is no doubt in my mind that Bitcoin will be, you know, it's not that I don't believe in Bitcoin or Ethereum or Bitcoins or crypto in general in the next 2-3 years. It's more that, you know, in my head's like, yeah, but I got alts, man, and they're gonna suffer like 50% dumps. So why wouldn't I wanna? Maybe it's a bit of greed as well. I think there might be a, you know, a dash of greed in my thinking as well, because I think if I sell now, I can get those alts like 50% cheaper, you know? So, fear accompanied with greed is a sure indicator of bottom. Now, let me show you some kind of bottom, you know, levels that we are actually holding. So we are on the 200 daily moving average. This is the 200 daily moving average. You see, we went down here below it, then we zigzagged above it up here. This was very nice resistance. So right now we're just hitting that 200 moving average. To 200 daily moving average, we are sitting on that bottom. But if you sell, you might get wrecked. Exactly. 2-day time frame is the 50 moving average. We are sitting on the 50 moving average right now. You can see here we hodled the 50. We went below, we closed above. Right now we are moving a little bit back, but we are still on the 50 moving average, and this is the 2-day chart. And you can see that even this 2-day up here was keeping very nice support and resistance levels right up here beside this move up here. But you know, it was keeping nice resistance. Look here, man. It is very nice. It is very nice. Like this 50 moving average has in the past on the 2-day time frame worked very well. Right, it is very nice, and right now we are holding that level. When we are breaking that level, we are breaking with the biggest moves up here. Up here it was a little bit zigzaggy. We are holding up here, but then we broke towards upside eventually, and then we are zigzagging above it. But it is important level. It is important level to hold. And right now we are even on 2-day, you know, 2 daily 50 moving average. And the last one is the big one, and that's the 20 moving average up here. We are right now sitting on the 20 moving average. You'll see up here the same as 50 up here. Very nice moves up here. Try to break, failed that. Went down. You can see up here, got rejected up here, got above it. So it might be some kind of test on the 20 moving average. Right. So as you can see, we are on the support lines. We dumped down big time towards the support, holding the support. But the big question is, will this support hold? Because when it comes to technical analysis, we know where the support lines are. Everybody knows, but we have to figure out whether the price is bullish or bearish. And just after this stop up here, right now we had a major dump down. We don't have it. The problem is that this support, we don't have long consolidation period. We had just 1 day of consolidation right now, 1.5 day or something like that on the 4-hourly time frame, 1-hourly time frame. So there is not really a lot of data to actually confirm whether we are actually bullish or not. For something like this to actually confirm that this support is gonna hold, we need at least 2 more candles to see that they are holding above, either a big bounce over here or some kind of candle up here and a big bounce. We need to see something that's actually holding the weekly moving average. So weekly moving average, we are just tapping it. We are not even close, still 10 hours to the close of the weekly moving average, so it's a little bit too early to say. 2-day time frame, still 1 hour left up here, but it is holding this 50 moving average very, very nicely. So as you can see, we are definitely 100% on some kind of very important levels of support, but I'm still in fear. Look at this, a perfect Wyckoff accumulation, a perfect Wyckoff accumulation. Yeah, that's what people are talking about. And I am and as you know, my fear has been going strong since we came to this stop up here, because when we did this move up here and it came up here to, I told you about the pattern up here that oftentimes does fall down. How much down it falls, that's the big question. Does it falls over here and picks up, or does it falls lower down here? That can be discussed. I don't really know how much it falls. Maybe it's some kind of some kind of extension from over here where it goes down to some kind of 17k. 17k does pop up on my screen a lot of times when I do this kind of stuff, so I don't know what's up with 17k. But there was this pattern up here, but I was a little fearful up there, and then we fell down, and then it was it's gonna hold, it's gonna up, it didn't hold, so we broke that towards the downside. The other thing is the 2014 pattern is playing exactly the same, and I showed you that before. So let's go to the daily time frame up here. This is actually the same pattern. I'm just gonna not show everything again, but basically we are right now on this move over here, right? So we're gonna have this move up here and a big capitulation down or something like that, but it does look like we are right now this move up here. We're consolidating over here right now. So how long this consolidation is gonna take, that depends. And then move towards downside. At least if you look at 2014, accumulation phase down at the bottom. And I've been saying it for a long time right now. Again, it does look like 2014, so I have no reason to believe that's anything different than that. Where are the lines? So is this the big question is, how long is this consolidation period take? It's just gonna be tomorrow and write down, because Monday fear and stuff like that. Oh guys, there is one more thing I'm gonna tell you about after this. Over here towards downside, it's gonna take a couple of days before we go down. What's gonna happen, I don't know. And I always write a couple of days before down, but it can definitely go towards upside as well. Like, I'm not gonna say about that. Guys, right now it's March. This is the last thing I'm going to tell you about. Right now it's March. So businesses have these quarterly reports 4 times a year. First time is for January, February, and March, and it comes in April. And a lot of these companies, all of companies, are going to have quarterly reports Q1 in April. Because it comes a couple of weeks after the end of the previous month, March. So second week, second week of April, the quarterly reports are gonna come out. And I see, and this is just my observation from Norway, I see no way how majority of the companies, I say majority because there might be outliers, there might be companies that are doing well, and I've just seen that some of the companies are doing extremely well, but majority of the companies, retailers and stuff like that, that are dependent on the population to buy and say and make money, these companies will have very bad quarterly reports in the first quarter. That means more dumpage on the regular stock markets. And right now we come to the stock markets. Right now, like we saw yesterday and the day before that, the stock markets are sitting very weakly on the support levels. And the big question is they gonna dump? And I don't see how the quarterly reports can, pump the markets when they are gonna be bad. So my only conclusion from that is that, it might hold a little bit more above the lines and stuff like that. There might be some kind of pumps or dumps, in the meanwhile, short term. But during April, when these quarterly reports start coming out, I don't see how, NASDAQ and S&P 500 and Dow Jones can survive when the bad numbers start coming out. Because I really don't see how they can actually have good numbers. I might be wrong about this, and I hope I am, but I don't see how they're gonna have good numbers in April. That said, I think, around April might be actually a big dump on stock market, because a lot of these companies are just gonna be start selling off, right? But it won't be, it won't be, one day and everything sells off. It's gonna be, steadily sell off over time, because the quarterly reports don't come out all on the same day. They come this day, these 3 companies, tomorrow these 10 companies, next day these 20 companies, so forth, right? Gotta go. Thanks, Till. I have a chair, envy. So that's all I want to actually do with this video. Just tell you I'm in fear, a little bit of greed, and a lot of fear about the stock market. USDC, I don't see any reason to hodl USDC. Easy to have good numbers if you cook the books. Yeah. You gotta cook them. You gotta cook those books really good this time to get good numbers. I'm gonna tell you that, because I've seen how the Norwegian companies have been performing lately, at least these the last 3 months, and it's been very, very bad. During Corona crisis, even lockdowns and stuff like that, people are still going out and buying stuff, guys. People are buying like crazy still. I mean, yes, the economy went down and people stopped down, but as soon as it opened up a little bit, the fear resided a little bit, they started buying again, because the economy wasn't bad. They had money. The problem right now is that people don't have money. People are very fearful of money. The interest rates are going up. The loans are getting more expensive. The food is getting more expensive. They don't have a lot of money to use to buying TVs and PlayStations and vacations and stuff like that. They don't have a lot of money to go to restaurants, to spend money on things they don't need. And a lot of a big part of our economy has been stuff we don't need. So I don't see how the April quarterly reports can be any good. If they are good, it might it might actually be good for us. But with the Silicon Valley Bank, if there's something on Monday doesn't happen that shows confidence in the market back in the banks back again, and this continues throughout rest of the month, and then April comes, BTC Genesis memo in play. What is that? I don't know what that is. BTC Genesis memo. If these support levels hold, do you think the bottom? We thought the bottom is in over here at 21st November 2022. That was the exact bottom, right? So we think already the bottom is in. But we do know that before a big move, oftentimes we have a spring. Is this the spring in the making up here? Towards upside? We don't know. Will we go down to the bottom? We don't know. I still think this is the bottom, but I'm very fearful that this might go down here. Some kind of Bitcoin might not go down that much. Here's the problem. I don't think that Bitcoin, even if it goes down a little bit down here, down here, something like 20%, it's fine. It's just 20% move down. The problem is that altcoins are gonna get wrecked, guys. 20% for Bitcoin, altcoins go down like 40-50%. What left a memo on the first Bitcoin block mine? Yeah, what did he say? And why is it in play now? Are there enough shorts to get liquidated and pump the market? I think a lot of people are short. I've seen that a lot of people have also been closing their shorts down here, because it was a strong move down. So they've been taking profits. I don't know. Come back tomorrow on Bitcoin Daily and we'll look at the markets again. It's going to be a lot more exciting because the markets will be open. But right now, there is a channel and there is a rising wedge up here. So this is all that matters right now. Give or take. This rising channel over here, this, you know, you could say that, you know, the first move, the first weakness is gonna come if it breaks out of this trend over here. The second weakness if it breaks out of the channel up here. There's some kind of channel up here, give or take. Maybe something like this, right? The second weakness if it goes back out of the chair. This looks like, you know, might be some kind of a bear flag. And we had a lot of bear flags, guys. So if that plays out, you know, towards downside, might. I'm not really worried that Bitcoin is gonna drop down like 50-60%, something like that. But altcoins just might, you know. I don't want my altcoins to bleed. Okay, guys, that's that. I'm gonna go do other stuff. I'm gonna sit in my room, listen to some kind of, you know, depressive, you know, 1990s, you know, rock band music, you know, turn off the lights, and gonna try to visualize, you know, where I should, you know, buy or sell. I'm gonna try to reading all the bad news about the market, and if I still don't sell by then we're good. So there is no full fear then. It's not 100% fear, but, you know, the fear is building up. The fear is building definitely up. Like a boss, take care, TLA. Happy hunting. Vic, thanks for stopping by. Back to the bear cavities. So Bitcoin's created. It is in play now. Oh, Bitcoin is created, yeah. So when it comes to, you know, long-term Bitcoin, like I am telling you again, I have no... Even if USA and China bans mining, Bitcoin mining 100%, it's not gonna go away. There will still be, you know, Cayman Islands where they're gonna buy, you know, mine Bitcoin. Like, it's gonna be around. It's gonna be around. And I've seen that there is a lot of, you know, smart, rich people that are actually don't like what the governments are doing. So the only big question is how much can they do? ETH is a security. Good luck, TA. Yeah, so there has also been, you know, talk about ETH being a security and stuff like that, right? So, okay, I'm done. See you around, guys. Bye bye. Now outro today. We're just gonna close the stream. Bye bye.